Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sherry and welcome to my channel, This Green's Life. Um, on my channel, I talk about relocating and my journey, specifically relocating from the United States to Grenada. I'm currently in America and will be heading back to Grenada in a couple of weeks. But I wanted to drop this quick video because I've noticed in the last month or so, I'm seeing that some people who relocated from America to other international areas are now returning back to America because I guess things didn't work out the way that they planned. And I want to say there's nothing wrong with trying. And if it doesn't work out, being honest with yourself and saying, you know what, this did not work out for me. I think it's better for me to maybe start over and do something different. Now, the reason why I decided to make this video today is because if you have watched my previous videos, you noticed that I spoke about, when you're deciding to relocate, whether it's within your own country or outside of your country, you should always start with why you want to relocate. Make sure that your decision is spiritually aligned, and then figuring out where you want to relocate to. Now, once you've done all of that and you made a decision to relocate, I need people to remember that life is going to happen wherever you go. And I think that's where a lot of people are struggling, because I think they're thinking, well, when I move to this new place, everything is just going to be fantastic. Everything is just going to be beautiful. Everything is going to be, you know, different. You know, and I get it, because coming from a place like America where things are really rough, the quality of life is not that great, right? You decide to go to another country, and you may have only gone there one time, and you just fell in love with the beauty of the place. You fell in love with the people, the quality of life, and you may have decided, okay, I think, you know I guess, especially again for Black people, because of the trauma that we face in these areas, England, America, Canada. You go to the Caribbean, you go to Mexico, you go anywhere, and you just see that there's a different quality of life. And you say, you know what? I think I'm just going to throw in the towel and just make this leap, and I'm going to move to these places. And, you get, enticed by, the beauty, the culture, the food, the cost of living. And that really is instrumental in you making your decision. But as I mentioned, when you get there and you get past all of those things, life is going to start lifing. Life is going to life wherever you are, wherever you go. And I think that's a part that people forget. They get so enticed by all of these other things, the trimmings, right? But they don't get down to the meat and potatoes. When the meat and potatoes come and life starts lifing, then they get a little bit disheartened because they were really expecting things to be like totally different. And there are some different things, obviously. But again, life is going to life. You still have to deal with everyday living. And I think what happens is, because we get caught up so much into, oh, this is going to be so different for me, we forget that, and then we get disheartened, right? So that may cause a lot of us who have decided to leave to return, because I guess they feel maybe it might be easier for me to deal with the quote unquote evil that I know, as opposed to this new thing that I'm going to have to get adjusted to all over again. Like, I spent so many years, scraping and trying to survive in this other place. And then now I move here where I thought life was going to be easier for me. And here it is that I got to start from ground zero. I have to learn, the ins and out of this new society. And that's the reality, right? And I get it, because some of us may have left some traumatizing situations where we just don't want to deal with that anymore. Like mentally, we can't cope. And I get it. Which is the reason why I mentioned in one of my videos, when you make a decision about where you may want to relocate to, it's important for you to really get intertwined with that new environment's way of doing things, because you will notice once you leave the United States, and there's some places even in the United States that are similar to what I'm going to describe. You're going to go to places that are a little bit more slower paced. Things are done at a slower pace. You know, you may come from a big city where things move at a very fast pace, and then you go to a place where people are moving really slow. And it's not something that you're accustomed to. But you have to remember that the lifestyle is going to coincide with that softer life that you're looking for, right? These countries are not underdeveloped. This is just the way that they function, right? And when you're coming from America or more, places like England and Canada, where you find things move much faster and they may be more technologically advanced, etc. You feel like, okay, when I go to this other place, I'm expecting everything to move in the same pace. I want the slower life, I want the softer life, but I'm still expecting the same amenities. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up, because they don't want to uh, miss out on those amenities that they have been accustomed to in these places like America, Canada, and England, right? They want the softer life, but they want the same amenities. And you will find that that's not what's happening when you move to these other places. So that's why I recommend that you definitely go to these places more than one time. You have to go for as long periods of time as you can, so you can become accustomed to that way of living and understand how people live and how the systems work in these different places. If you don't do that, then when you go and you have these high expectations, then you get disheartened, right? And then that will cause a lot of people to turn around and just go back where they come from, the place that they were trying to leave, right? Just because they don't want to deal with this new way of life. And I get it. I really understand where you're coming from. But you will find that if you're doing that, you're just going to be running from place to place, because you're going to keep looking for this paradise that does not exist, right? So when you are making a decision to relocate, whether it's within the country you live in or outside of the country, you have to take all of these things into consideration and have the patience to allow yourself to become acclimated to where you are living, so that you don't find yourself going from place to place. And another thing that I would recommend, and I said this in one of my other videos as well, is maybe having more than one place on your list of places, and go check each of these places out without making like a final decision. Because I'm seeing people packing up everything, selling everything, and then just relocating to these places and then getting disappointed. So I want people to really, take your time and really try your best to make the best decision that you can make, because this will be a costly error if you don't do this correctly. Okay? So I wanted to leave you guys with that word today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. And I will see you guys again soon. Take care, everybody.